What if I told you that this device here has the power to steal your happiness, your focus, and basically can cause you to waste your life? You wake up with it, you go to sleep with it, you go to the bathroom with it, it's with you in the shower, and you have the hardest time putting it down. I know, because I did too. But in this video, I'm gonna show you how to break that phone addiction, how to reclaim your time and reclaim your happiness. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Terica, and on this channel I help you live your best life. We are going to improve together, and we're going to grow together, and we are going to learn together to become our best selves. It's 2024 and it's no time to waste anymore. So let's get it together. If you have ever felt like your phone has taken over your life, then I need you to stay tuned to this video. Watch it all the way to the end, because I'm going to give you the tips that you need to break this phone addiction. Y'all, I was so shocked at the amount of time that I actually invested in my phone. I would get these screen time alerts or notifications that, the iPhone sends you. Mine comes every Sunday, just automatically. And I was spending hours on my phone. Hours, like 9 hours, 10 hours, 11 hours. For the week, it was up to like 72 to 96 hours. And I am like, oh my gosh, like I wasted that much time on the phone. Like, just imagine what I could have done with all of that time that I wasted. And honestly, I probably wasn't being productive, right? Most of the times that we're on the phone, spending several hours on the phone, we are just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, because that's what these apps are designed to do. Instagram, TikTok, even YouTube, they are designed to keep you on these apps for longer periods of time. And that is why we become so addicted. We are so invested in everyone else's lives. We are so invested in, needing an escape, for instance, or needing a laugh, or just learning something. But we are just focused so much on these phones that it's just hard to break that cycle. It's hard to break that. So I realized when I got that alert and that notification, and I spent hours and hours and hours on the phone, or I would go a whole day and just be on my phone not doing anything, I realized that I had a problem. I was addicted. And honestly, that's the first step. Realize and identify that you have a problem. Okay? Like, let's talk about what addiction is. What is addiction, really? So if you look at the Webster dictionary, addiction is the act of being addicted. And according to Webster, addicted means physically and mentally dependent on a particular substance and unable to stop taking it without incurring adverse effects. A lot of people think of addiction, simply as just drug addiction or gambling addiction, or, some other addiction of that form. They never seem to think of the phone being addiction, or even something like sugar being an addiction. But it really is a problem when it affects your life to the point where you cannot get anything done. These phones, when you are on your phone and you are getting happy, you are releasing a chemical called dopamine. And that dopamine is just causing you to feel good, essentially. That dopamine is causing you to feel good. And it's making you your body wants more of that. Your body wants to continue to feel good. So you're releasing more and more dopamine when you are, doing these things and you're on your phone and that sort of thing. But you need to realize and understand that, hey, I do have a problem and I really need to get off of this. So let's talk about ways that you can actually overcome and stop that phone addiction. All right. So that's number one, realizing that you have an addiction. Number two, you are going to identify your triggers. So what is it that's actually causing you to pick up your phone and be on your phone so much? Are you looking for an escape? Are you just looking for something to laugh at? Are you doing it because you're bored? Are you on your phone because you're stressed? Usually when we pick up our phone, it's for a reason, right? That might be you're going to pick up your phone and you are going to read your Bible. That might be you're going to pick up your phone and you're going to scroll on social media. Either way, you are picking up your phone for a reason, and you cannot get it out of your hand for a reason. So you really have to just sit back and identify what that reason is. If you are looking at, your phone or being on your phone for an escape, you have to figure out ways to get around that. You have to find other ways to cope with whatever it is that you're trying to escape. And honestly, if you're on your phone to escape something, then you really have a deeper issue at hand. And that is something that you should look at or look into. Because I don't take that lightly at all. Like, if you're trying to escape anything, you need to get to the root of the problem that it is that you're trying to escape. Why are you trying to escape this? What is going on mentally and emotionally with you that's making you want to just escape and have this be in this false world or this realm, this different realm than what you're in? So definitely identify the triggers that you have, and let's try to come up with ways that you can use or things that you can do to attack those triggers and to figure out what you can do to help yourself, okay? The next thing you want to do is actually set some boundaries and make those boundaries very clear, okay? So for me, for instance, what I had to start doing was saying, I am not going to be on my phone first thing in the morning. So I actually do use my phone first thing in the morning to read my Bible app, okay? But I'm on a very short amount of time at that point. And then I'll put it down and I'll say, okay, well, I really don't want to get back on my phone if I can help it, to scroll. I want to wait the full morning. And so usually I try to set a time. And that time for me is noon. So if I can wake up in the morning, whatever time I wake up, and then to noon, I will give myself a break and say, hey, between these hours, it's business. It's strictly business. I'm not on my phone scrolling. I'm not on my phone, doing all this text messaging and stuff. I'm, not doing any of that. That's what I've had to start doing. I've had to set those boundaries with myself. I have also had to set boundaries, for instance, during mealtime. One of the things that my husband and I have tried to really start incorporating was no phones during dinner. I just feel like we need to bring that back, because families more and more are just using dinner time to be on the phone, to watch TV, to do, movies and things of that nature. I really want to incorporate in my life where we do not have any phones for dinner. We're not watching TV for dinner. We're actually sitting down as a family and talking and seeing how each other's day went. Now, we're not fully there just yet, but that's something that we're working towards. We do have, a toddler, and it's sometimes if we're cooking dinner or we're trying to straighten up, or if he just needs a moment, yes, we'll have the screen time, and he can't have a full conversation with us. And then sometimes my husband might still be working. Sometimes I might just be catching up or talking to family. So we've had, that little portion of time. But we are really trying to incorporate, hey, at least give our family, an hour. So let's say for dinner, with no phones, no talking to people, no looking at the screens, no watching a movie, nothing. We're just going to try to come together and figure out how each other's day went, and, just see what's been up with the person, because we need to just bring that back. That's something that I really want to incorporate, and that's what we're gonna do. We've started doing it. We do mess up. We're not perfect, of course. We're human, so it takes a little bit of time to fully get into that routine and that habit, especially when you have just been so used to being on your phone that whole time. So we are trying to break that habit. But you definitely need to make sure you have some clear boundaries set. Another thing that I try to do in regards to the boundaries is I set timers on my phone. So that means on my apps, I am only allowed to be on those particular apps for 1 hour a day. 1 hour a day. So I do that for my Instagram, my TikTok, or any of my social apps. I have it set to where only 1 hour, and after that 1 hour, it's grayed out on my phone. And I will not go back on the app once it's done. Once it's grayed out, that's it. So on to the next day. And so that also helps me be mindful you know, throughout the day. Like, hey, I can only be on this thing for an hour, so if it's not important, I shouldn't be scrolling and wasting my hour. So that's something else that, you know, I try to do. Outside of screen time on your phone, you can actually use other apps that you can download to help you with the screen time. You can use digital well-being. You can use Opal, I think it's Opal, which helps you reduce your screen time and helps you to focus as well. You can use Screens In. That's another one that you can use. So there are a bunch of different apps. If you just go to your app store, if let's say you don't have, you know, screen time on your phone, or if you need something with a tighter control, just go to your app, download something that actually works for you. So another thing that you can do is actually develop a no phone zone. I thought of this idea too. We went to a cabin trip, and in that cabin trip, it was like a mini cabin, a getaway house, and so we did that, and I actually have a video on the getaway house and our experience, and you'll actually see this on the video. But they have a box that they give you, and in the box you put your phone in the box, and you pretty much, like, you know, lock it up and basically not be on your phone or not use your phone while you're there. And so we did that, and we were actually able to just spend a lot of quality time together. And so you can do the same thing at your home. You can set a zone. Maybe that's the bedroom for you. Maybe that is your office, your home office. But set an area where you say, okay, in this particular area, there are going to be no phones allowed. We are just going to have each other, or I'm just going to have my alone time or whatever, and we are not going to be on the phone, or I'm not going to be on the phone. So that's something you can do. I actually saw a box at Target today when I went, and it was a box where you actually put your phone in. It's to help with productivity, and so you put your phone in, lock it away until you're done, and it actually has a timer on there. And you can set the timer for how long your phone is going to be locked up, and I just think that that's a great idea. I think that that is something that you should probably try to incorporate, even if it's for 5 minutes to start off with, until you can progress to, you know, an hour. But just basically saying, all right, we're going to put my phone up in this particular area, no phones allowed, and you just have that time to yourself, or that time to share with somebody else. So the next thing that you're going to do to help yourself break this phone addiction is you are going to find you some habits, develop new habits. I know that a lot of times when you are just getting lost in your phone, sometimes you really don't even realize that it's a reason and that you are a person who actually likes things. So, you know, that might be getting into a book. So I actually just got done with a very, very, very good book. It's called Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. If you guys are watching and you've read that book, then you know how good it is. And if you haven't read that book yet, I highly recommend it because it's so good. But I have always been like a slow reader, and when I tell you, I like put my phone away. Instead of like being on social media and scrolling, I would pick up the book and read. And I actually read that book in like a week and a half. Like, that is very good for me. Very good. And I'm so proud of myself. But I was very adamant, like, I'm gonna finish this book. And so every single day, instead of being on my phone, I was reading that book. Like, you can look on my Instagram. I haven't posted on there outside of the stories and posting about the book on the stories, but like regular stuff, I really haven't been posting for real. But I've just been so wrapped up into this. I've also been working out, so that takes up my time so that I'm not spending so much time on my phone. But you can develop a new habit. You know, try to go paint, go do some art, try to go do Pilates or yoga, new, you know, exercise, go bike, join a class. In Atlanta, I don't know where you guys live, but in Atlanta, like, there's so much to do. There's, you know, pottery classes. You can make little rugs, candles, lip gloss, all kinds of things. So just try something new whenever you get that urge, and yeah, just say, hey, I'm not gonna get on my phone, but I'm gonna go do something fun. And let that be your happiness. Let that lead you to happiness instead of the phone leading you to happiness. It will take some time, of course, but it can be done. it can be done. If you're able to, you want to consider just like detoxing from your phone if you can. That you probably will have to start off small, or you know, short amount of time. So maybe detox for 5 minutes and then go for 30 minutes and then an hour, and you might even go all the way up to a full day. And you may want to repeat that a couple of days until you do not have that urge to just get on your phone all the time. With this, it is a work in progress. There are some days that I relapse, you know, and I have a hard time staying off of my phone, because it just depends on the day. It depends on what's going on. So I totally get that. But with this addiction, you also may need some help from, you know, God, whoever you believe in. I believe in God, but ask God and pray for him to help you break that addiction. Ask him to help you replace, you know, that urge and that feeling with something else that's more joyous and fulfilling for you. But I hope these tips have been helpful. This is what I have for you. I know that you can break this phone addiction and really stop wasting time and become the best version of yourself. This will take time. This is not something that you're going to do overnight. This is probably not something that you're going to do, you know, in a week or two. They say that to, you know, any habit, to make something any habit, you would need to do that same thing for at least 21 days. And I'm assuming it would be the same if you need to break a habit. So just do these steps, 21 days, and then go for longer. And watch how your life changes. Like, it's going to be so good, and I cannot wait for you to become a better person. Like, we're going to do this together. We're going to do this together, because like I said, it's still a struggle every day. It's still very hard, but these are the tips that I have for you that's going to help you really break that addiction and just become so much better. Just remember, be patient with yourself. Celebrate, you know, yourself when you do good. If you've gone, you know, if you've gone a day, or if you've gone 5 hours, 5 minutes, whatever, celebrate yourself. You're going to be excited. You're going to be wanting to reward yourself for doing something good and something positive. And just know you can keep going. So yeah, you got this. We got this. And I just cannot wait. It's going to be great. If you have made it to the end of this video and found this video helpful, I just want you to like this video, leave a comment, and also subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. And if you want to just join me on this journey of just becoming a better me, a better you. And so we're going to do this together. I can't wait. And I will see you guys in the next video.